Hey guys, it's your boy Smoochio. Alright, listen. It's been a couple months and I still don't got my own original intro shit, whatever, bro. You can't force it. It has to come naturally. It just hasn't come yet. But when it is time, y'all will know, okay? Listen, it's your boy Boss Enosch. And we're back again with another video. This time it's from Anna Akana, which we actually reacted, I think, to her videos before, right? This is like early in the days when I came back on YouTube. She did a video telling a story about how this trans man was saying how being a man was so much different than being a woman. And it was like, yeah, no duh. But yeah, though, she's back again. And this video is called The Rise of Emotional Manipulation as Dark Femininity. Oh, dark femininity? What? Femininity and darkness? No way, they can never be one and the same. But yeah, so we're gonna watch this. It's not a long video. We're gonna see what she's talking about, if she's spitting facts or not. So it's gonna be featuring my breakfast, egg sandwich with ham and cheese and spinach, and featuring my smoothie with pineapple, watermelon, spinach, blueberries, aloe, and beetroot and ginger. No. Yes, I'm gonna eat because I'm hungry, nigga. I'm grinding. It is what it is. You got a problem with it? Sorry. Go watch somebody else's video. I'm just playing. Hey, let's get into it and subscribe.
Let's talk about the rise of emotional manipulation disguised as dark femininity.
Ladies, here are some tips for making any guy
high-key obsessed over you.
Being nice doesn't make him
crave you.
Men fall in love with women's absence.
Worshipping the ground you walk on
Can make a man miss you.
Be obsessed over you.
And chase after you.
they obsess over you.
absolutely obsessed with you.
Basically, people have taken all of the manipulation tactics from pickup artistry and decided to rebrand and repackage it as a new kind of feminism. It encourages women to use the same manipulative tactics that have been historically weaponized against them and says, hey, let's just reverse Uno card this. What could go wrong? This whole movement of dark psychology.
Isn't that funny? When we talk about some of the trope of like the strong female characters in movies and stuff, what's something I always say? They take the traits that they complain about of toxic masculine stereotypes and they just put it on female characters. So it's the same shit they complain about, but they paint it with a new woman coat of paint. You know what I'm saying? Ain't it funny? The same shit that they complain about is the same shit that they're gonna turn around and do. You looking dumb, but it's the same thing.
And dark femininity exploits cis women's wounds. It offers women the promise of reclaiming their power, of protection, and taking control of their dating lives, when in reality, it's just a bunch of toxic techniques in a trench coat.
So a really easy mental trick to get someone to do what you want is by slipping a command into a question.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but go confirm a date with the wrong guy. Literally text him, see you at 7, and then say, sorry, wrong person, and go silent.
Manipulation number 2. Let him hunt.
I wish a motherfucker wouldn't do that shit to me, boy. Bye. Block. Lose my number. Lose my number. Lose my number. Don't come ever again.
That means don't initiate conversations. Don't text him. He should be the one doing that.
If you want men to give you everything you want, you have to manipulate them.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but next time you feel like being a little bit toxic, just text him here and go silent after that.
As a woman, you need to learn how to flip the script and make everything that man's fault. Even, it don't matter what you do, you need to be able to flip it back on him.
And look, I get the—
That's funny. The things that these people are saying, especially that last one, these aren't new, right? These are stuff that, if you have experience in this world as a man that deals with women, you may or may not know, but you probably do, that a lot of women do these things anyway. Okay, this is not new. This ain't new shit. None of this shit is new. Men's strength is their ability to use force to get their way because of just physical prowess. A woman does not have the same ability. So because they don't have that, their main tool that they use is their mouth, their ability to manipulate or even deceive, right? That's their strong suit, right? If you have wings, you're going to be the best at flying. But if you have flippers or fins, you're going to be more proficient at swimming, okay? It is what it is. You gain based off of what you lack, okay? you gain based off of what you lack. Write that down. Write that down. So it's not surprising that these manipulation tactics, you know, they use it all the time. A lot of gaslighting, a lot of, you know, it's sign language. Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. Guilt can also be gaslight, okay?
The appeal. Dating is confusing, and it's hard, and it's terrifying. It'd be amazing if there were a blanket set of rules we could follow that would ensure we wouldn't get hurt or played. Like, it's easy to hear, men don't respond to words. They respond to no contact. And use that as an excuse to shy away from the vulnerability it takes to communicate honestly. It's easy to learn about intermittent reinforcement and switch from available to intentionally withholding to gamify someone's dopamine system, instead of genuinely showing up to build trust and connection. But the most ironic part of this movement is that it's telling women to be emotionally unavailable, to play mind games, and to always conceal your intentions. And that all of these behaviors will lead to love. What? It won't. I mean, how could it? Most of the advice also seems to be sort of like repackaged and distorted lessons from the 48 Laws.
48 Laws of Power. What I was about to say was, yeah, most women, they want a relationship, they want a partner that will love them and cherish them and all that, right? And fulfill their emotional needs. Cool. You know, men want that too, right? These skills that they're trying to teach people is not going to give you that result. That's the type of stuff, especially with the pickup artists, right? Their goals, when men watch pickup artists and shit like that, their goal is to be able to have sex with these women, not to be in long, loving relationships. That's not the goal. The goal is to fuck them, okay? That's the goal. The goal is to use them. And on women's end, the goal is to use these dudes for not for sex to the same extent at all. Definitely more for financial gain. They want stuff. They want to use a man's money, his man's pockets. They want to get their bills paid. They want to get flown out. They want to go on trips. They want nice stuff. And there's a lot of dudes out here, simps, beta, that will do it gladly. They will happily do that shit. But those type of dudes are not the dudes that these girls want long term. So they're not even getting what they want in the long term. So that's why it's stupid.
Laws of Power by Robert Greene, a cult classic that outlined Machiavellian tactics that are so effective. This book has been banned in several US prisons.
There are two laws. One of them is make others come to you, and the second law is use absence to create honor and respect. One of the laws is, I think the most important, basically make people dependent on you.
Isn't it crazy? Why they keep using that same background music, bro? It's pissing me off.
They need you and they can't get rid of you. So you need to make sure that your position in a company, in life in general, you're the only person who can do that.
Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. If you allow people to feel they possess you to any degree, you lose all power over them. Give them hope, but never satisfaction. By not committing your affections, they will only try harder to win you over. Encourage the attention, stimulate their interest, but do not commit at any cost. Desire is like a virus.
Now, if there is one silver lining to dark psychology, I think it's the awareness, right? If you're familiar with these emotional manipulation tactics, you can defend yourself against them because you can spot them, but don't perpetrate them. You know, I think one of the most fascinating people to offer this kind of awareness is Kanika Batra Matheson, a self-proclaimed diagnosed sociopath who wants to clue you in on the potential weapons being used against you.
I'm a diagnosed sociopath, and these are the 4 stages of narcissistic abuse. Love bombing, of course, is the beginning of it all. You're going to be idealized by this person. They don't know who you are. They're going to project what they want onto you, and you will feel like the center of the universe. You'll get calls, texts, you'll get showered with gifts. Just until you fall short. Once you become a real
diagnosed sociopath
person and not their fantasy, you're going to become very devalued. All of that attention is just going to be snatched from you real quick. You're going to wonder what you did wrong. And let me tell you, you did nothing wrong. You'll get less and less communication, and then before you know it, you're discarded. Don't think you're ever going to get closure, by the way. That's a narc's favorite form of control over you. Then, if they lose narcissistic supply elsewhere, they'll come back to you. They'll give you little bits of attention that you'll be begging for. They'll try to bring you back into their life with the original love bombing. Be vigilant. They're doing it for themselves, not for you.
And look, I have no doubt that some of the people creating this kind of content ultimately have good intentions. There are messages encouraging women to center themselves, to not drop all of their priorities and restructure their life for a man they've just met, and to heal their own attachment wounds so they can show up as their most secure, confident selves. But I think for the most part, the dark psychology and dark feminine movement really gets it wrong. There's a great article by Camille Sajid-Pedja who articulated the exact conundrum.
Pedra?
The problem here lies not in the art of the tease, but in the fact that the people turning to TikTok for dating advice are likely in the same demographic as those who desperately want to experience real love, and instead are perpetuating the same cycle of emotional toxicity that made them so afraid to be vulnerable in the first place. It's a pitfall people fall into again and again. The idea being that empowerment involves appropriating the techniques by which you yourself were oppressed, which ironically tends to perpetuate the status quo. And that's the biggest con of dark psychology, right? Its tactics create the result it claims to solve. All of this advice, right? Like all these emotional manipulation tactics are great if you want to find someone who's insecure and avoidant and values the chase more than they do a genuine, profound connection with you. But if you want real love, if you want to experience true intimacy, I don't think you can build that on a lie or a game. You can't form real trust when you are behind a wall pulling the strings the entire time. How can true love develop when you're mentally playing chess with someone's feelings? Love requires bravery. It demands that we show up, that we show our soft underbelly and hope that we don't get stabbed. And if we do, it requires us to dust ourselves off and go back onto the battlefield. Love demands courage, honesty, patience, and compassion. It's about not letting your emotional wounds harden into scar tissue.
Hey, bro, she's spitting, bro.
Keep softening again and again with the trust that there is someone out there who can hold your heart with the same gentleness that you'll hold theirs. Oh. I'm just gonna wait an hour to text back to this, but it's because I'm busy. I'm Anna Akana. Thank you to the patrons who supported today's video, and thank you to my daddy, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are not familiar with my dad yet, I don't know where you've been, but Squarespace is an all-in-one platform.
Why she said that? Thank you to my daddy, Squarespace. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's Anna Akana. Let's look at some of the comments real quick. TikTok has a huge issue with fetishizing unhealthy behavior. It takes so much courage to be vulnerable and love someone authentically. It's a beautiful thing, and it breaks my heart how often people seek to undermine that beauty. I've heard about toxic masculinity, but this dark femininity is news to me. Thanks for informing us so perfectly and entertainingly. Geez, this woman has single-handedly shaped my adult life. Aw, wow. Never was a fan of manipulating someone to love me or chase me. People go out of the way to use dark psychology on someone rather than learning to honestly communicate their needs, so they don't openly get rejected. The trick is to become resilient, not to avoid pain. That's a bar. That's a bar. Become resilient. Don't avoid pain. Embrace the pain. Bathe in the pain. Wow, honestly, social media is really doing so much damage to our social fabric. We don't need women copying toxic masculinity and flipping around to get what they want. Listen. I get what they're trying to say, but it's not copying toxic masculinity. Those things that they're doing is not toxic masculine. It's just toxicness in general, okay? Women have manipulated men, and men have manipulated women from the beginning of time. There's nothing new. And flipping around to get what they want. The master's tools will not dismantle the master's house. Revenge may be sweet for a while, but it's not going to make your life better. Playing men in the dating game is a shortcut to being a bitter, angry person on the merry-go-round of abusive relationships. And the thing is, too, these manipulation tactics, from my experience, some of these people do this stuff and they don't realize that they're doing it. Some of these girls do this type of shit and they don't even realize it. Like, they're so, like, they're not self-aware. They're so unself-aware and they're so, like, detached from, like, just reality. It's like, bro, do you not see what you're doing, bro? It's weird. I texted my now fiance less than an hour after our first date. Best first day of my life. Hadn't smiled or laughed like that in a little years. And asked him for a second the next day. I'm so glad that we never wasted men on games or manipulation or any of that. My unsolicited dating advice: be honest and vocal about your feelings and wants and needs. Listen when the other person does the same, and never settle. It's not a hell yes, it's a hell. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. How to make them fall in love with you. That's so funny. But yeah, man, this is facts, bro. If you got stories related to something like this, like if someone tried to manipulate you, have you been on the manipulating end? Have you manipulated people? Have you read the 48 Laws of Power? Y'all should read it. I didn't read it. I actually watched a video breaking down the points because I didn't have time. But I should sit down and read it though. It's actually in my house right now, in the shelf. Not these shelves. It's in the shelf outside. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and subscribe.